Welcome to Hanging with Here to Zen, the genre-free music and lifestyle podcast presented by Here to Zen magazine. This is the place to come to celebrate all types of music, lifestyle, and more. We are glad you have come along for the ride, so sit back and enjoy the episode.
Hiya,
Hey Daniel, how are you, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Whereabouts in the world are you coming to me from today?
I'm in Stockholm.
Oh, you're back home. You played a show only a couple of days ago, I think, Istanbul or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. We came back from Turkey yesterday afternoon.
Excellent. How was the show?
It was good. Good crowd, really big crowd. Biggest crowd we've ever had in Turkey this far. And it was good to start off the year with such a good show. So yeah, we're pretty stoked on keeping going.
And then you're about to head on a cruise in the next week or so out on the 7,000 tons of metal cruise. Looking forward to it?
Yeah, exactly. We leave Stockholm on Sunday, and we did a cruise back in 2015, I think, or maybe 16. It's been a while. But yeah, we're looking forward to it, and it's a good trampoline for our first trip to Japan and then flying from Japan to Australia. So it's a good and exciting run.
Fantastic. So as you said, you hit Japan, then the very start of February, you come to our shore. So we've got February 9th, Sydney, February 10th in Melbourne, the 11th in Brisbane, the 12th in Adelaide, and the 13th in Perth. No days off. No days off for you guys at all.
No, that's how we roll.
So, and also,
for better or worse.
well, I'm going to say, like, hopefully the band are all fueled up on coffee and coffee drinkers because I think you're going to need it.
Yeah, I remember doing the same trip last time we were there in 2016, I think, and it is rough. It's rough, and we're getting older, of course, but still, it's all good fun.
Awesome. And it's been a year since the album's been out. How do you think the album has aged compared to other albums in the catalog?
I think it's aged very well, actually. When we made the album and when we released the album and started playing those songs live, I really felt, I assume that many people will disagree, but I felt that there was a continuation or a follow-up to the vibes I remember from The Great Cold Distance. It's a more straightforward album, a more live-oriented. It's packed with hits, and it's a banger. And I still feel that we as a band, we still treat it as that kind of album, and I think the fans do as well. We got off on a very good start, releasing the album on the first day of our European tour last year, and the reception was immense, and we're still feeling that. I mean, playing Istanbul for 3,000 people, playing a lot of new stuff, and having them respond like they did, we really didn't expect, it might sound cocky, we didn't expect anything else since we've been playing those songs for the past year. So I'm really stoked on bringing those songs to Australia since, well, it's been a while. We've released 2 albums since the last time we were in Australia. So I'm very stoked.
Well, you're right. There's, including the digital bonus track Absconder, there's 11 songs from this new album. And you've been rotating 7 songs from the album in your set list. So yep. Is there an aim to, by the end of your touring cycle, play every single song on the album?
I don't think so. I think we have done, and Kat has done in the past as well, like album celebration touring and shows. And it's tricky because all of the songs on an album are maybe not meant to be played live. So while there are songs that are really fun to play and fun to rehearse and fun to record and listen to, there's no real guarantee that they'll come off good on stage. So I think there are a couple of songs that we're not intentionally holding them back, but we're not prioritizing them either. And that's been the case for all the albums. So I think there are a couple of songs from Sky Void of Stars that will not be played live necessarily until we start hitting like B-side market, B-side set lists, surprise shows, stuff like that, or just switching it up. But I think the 7 songs we're doing now, I think we have a couple of more that we're planning to do, but not the entire album.
Sure. Now, in doing my reading about the album and the songs, it's been written online that the song Colossal Shade is meant to be inspired from Lick It Up Era Kiss. Is that fact or myth?
that is fact, yes.
As a big Kiss fan, you know, I can hear that sort of chugging, sort of Lick It Up riff. Who are the big Kiss fans in the band?
I don't think any of us are big Kiss fans, but we do like the band, and we, funnily enough, like some odd stuff. My favorite Kiss album by far is The Elder.
Well done.
That's not a very popular opinion, I've gathered, but we do listen to Kiss, and we have our favorite songs and stuff, but it's maybe not at what you would expect from us. The things we do.
Funnily enough, when I listen to the most latest album, I can hear almost a cross between Lick It Up and The Elder in a lot of songs, some of that cinematic stuff. So it's not a far stretch at all.
No, that's good. Good to hear.
So you've been playing about roughly between 17 and 19 songs in your sets too. Is that the plan for Australia to sort of play for that long?
It is. Since it's been that long, we played. I'm not entirely sure of the set lengths in Australia, but from what we're planning to do a proper headline set, like 95 minutes, because, well, it's been so long. That's 2 more albums under the belt, and we just want to enjoy our time up there, and we want the fans to do it as well. So
sure. And look, the band's been around for 30 years. You've been in the band almost 10 yourself, over 11 albums. It's got to be really difficult to actually put a flowing set list together, because you always got the songs you must play, basically. So for Katatonia, what are those songs that are your must plays?
Must plays to appease everyone, both the band and the audience. We're talking, July, My Twin, Evidence. We've been running a fair bit, but then we start coming to the newer albums, and like Lithium is still a must play from Dead and Kings. But we're also feeling that like Colossal Shade and Opaline from Sky Void are starting to become must plays, which is tricky, because when you have so many albums in the back, and we always have this clique of fans who would like us to play about half of the Discouraged Ones album.
Sure.
And that's fair, and that's fine, and we also like that album. We're not excluding songs because we don't want to play them. We're excluding songs because it's impossible to create set lists to appease everyone, even us. We have songs that we as a band would like to play, but we don't, and we can't because they don't fit in. So that's tricky. That's when we start thinking about doing surprise one-off shows with different set lists, or alternating set lists, as we did on the last US tour. And it is tricky. Cool. But we do have our 5 to 10 must plays that just need to be in the set for both our sake and the fans, obviously.
Absolutely. Now back to the album. As someone who is like a distant fan. Like I listen to your albums as part of different playlists and things like that. The thing about this new album that sticks out with me is the production. They're like the production is actually really huge on it. So do you think that's something that you're going to continue doing for future albums? Is that style of production?
I'm not exactly sure actually. I feel that the production fits the album very well. It fits the songs. This production would not have fit City Burials, for instance. And City Burials, the entire vibe of the songs, the entire soundscape, is so much different. And this is more dense and huge, kind of in the ways Great Cold Distance and Night is the New Day was dense and cinematic almost. So for the next album, I don't know actually, because there's not right now a clear view of what the vibe will be on that album. There is some writing going on behind the scenes, maybe, perhaps, but nothing that's finished to the point that we're now seeing what we're doing with the album.
Sure.
And then the next album. So,
has the band got any plans to do any sort of like live DVD, Blu-ray packages?
I don't know actually. I'm not really a part of that sort of like release planning or scheduling. So there's nothing in the pipeline from what I know right now, but that's more of a Jonas and label and management discussion.
Sure. Well, let's talk about you. As a drummer, who were your inspirational drummers when you started out, and who are your inspirational drummers now?
Oh, when I started out being an extreme metal drummer. I played death metal and black metal for a lot of years. So my inspirational drummers from back then and actually even now are basically Commando, Morbid Angel, Mick Harris, Napalm Death, obviously Sean Reinert, Cynic, Death. I grew up listening to a lot of I grew up in Gothenburg in Sweden, and I grew up with bands like King Diamond and Merciful Fate, and obviously when Snowy Shaw joined Merciful Fate, he was a big inspiration to me, and I also got to play with him later on. And I mean, there are a lot of drummers out there that are good. A lot of young guys coming up, a lot of people on Instagram and YouTube. I don't really know because I don't listen to that much new music. So when I want to listen to good drumming, like for me, really viscerally good drumming, I still listen to Balls of Madness, Covenant, Focus by Cynic. I still listen to Human by Death. Yeah, that's what gets my blood rushing, I guess. I'm not very interested in drumming. I don't know if that sounds very boring coming from a progressive metal drummer, but I listen to a lot of guitarists instead, like a lot of guitar albums, like the old Shrapnel stuff, and
Okay.
So mostly just old stuff.
Well, what about your gear? Who are you endorsing at the moment?
I'm endorsing Tama drums, Meinl cymbals, ProMark sticks, Evans heads. We're all using Lime ears for in-ear monitoring. And I'm trying out, just for monitoring purposes, some Roland triggering. I'm trying out different stuff with my drum tech. So, but yeah, I've been using Tama and Meinl for the entirety of my cat career. I've been using Tama for pretty much a couple of years after I started playing. So yeah.
Sure. The one thing I noticed, I know some like watching some live footage of the band, that compared to a lot of drummers, you have a pretty scaled back kit. From what I could see, was it one rack and two floor, or sometimes a two rack and two floor setup?
Yeah, I have a two up, two down setup.
Yeah. Now, and also there didn't seem to be what I call an overabundance of cymbals. Is that the way that you are? You just like that less is more approach?
Yeah, exactly. I have a pretty tight and narrow and ergonomically set up kit, so that also it's a bit tricky adding stuff. I run two hats, two splashes, two crashes, one China, one ride, and I feel like that's enough for what I'm doing in cat, and it's set up in a way that it gives a nice like audio approach, like it's a pretty much a stereo kind of setup. I don't know.
Yeah. So
But yeah, it's a scaled down kit, and I feel like anything I would add would just be for like visual purposes, and I'm not really very bothered by that.
Right. So you said you had two hats. So you have a hat over on near your ride cymbal?
Yeah, exactly, just below the ride cymbal.
Yeah. So
it's a darker pair, so I get two distinctly different sounds from them. So.
And that also like helps open up your playing for breathing as well, I would say.
Oh yeah. I'm not an open-handed player per se, but I do have my China on my left side, so it gives me kind of an open-handed view of playing most of the tracks.
Sure. Now, obviously, you'll probably have like a rented back line down here because the cost of bringing drums is ridiculous over the ocean. So, hopefully it all goes to plan. You get everything you need. But what is the one thing that you need backstage before a show?
What I need backstage before a show. I want to say a practice pad, but I really don't use it that much. I need good music backstage. We usually run some sort of pre-show list to get us going, to warm up to, and if we don't have that, going on stage feels weird. I don't know if it really does or if it's just something that we're used to, but just getting into the mood with some good music, that's very important to me. It doesn't have to be the same music every night. It doesn't have to be metal. It doesn't have to be anything, but just something to get us in the mood.
So before I let you go, as I said, it's the first headlining tour since 2016, and Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Adelaide, and Perth. What do you want to let the fans know before I let you go?
Drink a lot of water, stretch before the show, get your necks in order, bring your cash for the merch table, and get ready to be blown off stage, I guess, if that's what we're doing.
That sounds like a really good way. After all the stretching, they do need some sort of impact sport.
Yeah.
Awesome, Daniel. Look forward to seeing you guys in a few weeks. Everyone, if you haven't got your ticket, don't be an idiot. Get your ticket now. But thanks so much for hanging out with me tonight, mate.
Thanks for having me.
All right, see you soon. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.
To Hanging with Here to Zen, we hope you enjoyed today's episode and guest. Remember to add Here to Zen on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We are also on YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell to keep up to date on all of our new content. You can also find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and all of your favorite podcast platforms. We would love if you could take the time to write us a review and leave a comments wherever you have tuned into today's episode. This helps us reach a wider audience and create more amazing content to share with you all. We are grateful for all of your support. Until next time, you have been hanging with Here to Zen.